Cliffhangers are a classic storytelling tool, usually occurring when the plotline has reached peak intensity. The heroes will usually be in serious trouble or a shocking twist has been revealed, only for the viewer to be told to return for the next installment to see what happens. They're a sneaky and frankly annoying way of ensuring that the audiences will come back. To see it done badly, watch EastEnders. Hello Phil, it's me, Sonia. Alright, it's that simple. I'm Cal from What Culture, and here are 10 biggest TV cliffhangers that will never be resolved. Or will they? No, they won't. Or will they? Let's just crack on. Number 10. What the hell happened to Baruz in 24? 24 had a bad habit of dropping plot lines and characters. The show's most notable character to vanish without trace is Baruz Araz from Season 4, the teenage son of a family of terrorists.
Why are you doing this?
Baruz had a attack of conscience about his family's plans and helped the CTU stop them. In his final episode, he's forced into a hostage exchange for Jack and driven away by the bad guys. Then, his implanted tracker is destroyed and his fate looks bleak to say the least. And then, that's it. Yeah, we have no idea where he's gone. Like, none at all. Number 9. Did Michael escape with his family? Now and Again. Now and Again was a short-lived but awesome show about a family man named Michael who dies in an accident, only to find his brain transplanted into another body. But the downside of his resurrection is that he can never contact his wife and daughter again, under penalty of death for him and them. Obviously, he doesn't bother listening to that because it would have been a rubbish TV show if he did.
Lisa, I am trying to help you. I'm trying to save you.
The finale had set up so many juicy plot lines that it was downright evil when the network cancelled it in 2000, citing low ratings and cost. Now and Again may not have been a smash hit, but it had already gained a loyal fanbase. A fanbase that was forever doomed to wonder if Michael and his family escaped what the Eggman was planning next. Number 8. Whose baby is that? Lois and Clark. A charmingly dated version of Superman from the 90s, Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman, was a much cheesier rom-com as a superhero show. The ratings took a big nosedive in its 4th season, with a massive cliffhanger accidentally becoming the ending of the entire series. In the final scene, the now married couple come down to the living room to discover a baby in a crib wrapped in a cloth with the famous S logo on it. They find a note stating that the baby now belongs to them, with no other clues to who the baby is supposed to be. To be honest, I see loads of kids wearing Superman costumes and Batman ones and Spider-Man ones. I see the blanket with the superhero logo on as a meaningless factor here. Someone abandoned a child on a doorstep. In fact, no, they broke into the house. Number 7. Did Rembrandt make it home? Sliders. Sliders featured the adventures of a group of people travelling through parallel dimensions, and it ran for a healthy 5 seasons. The last episode ends with the gang deciding if they should slide to the next world, which could be the universe that they came from, as a psychic had predicted a dire fate for them if they do return there. Team leader Rembrandt decides to risk it all and go first, like the leader he is. Don't worry, I shall go first. Telling that's not an impression of him, that's just not very good, that's just me pretending to be a leader. You can see I've never done a leadership course. Telling the others that if he fails, the psychic will tell them and they can survive in their current universe. He goes through and the psychic immediately dies of a heart attack, leaving the others no way of knowing if he made it. How could you cancel it then? But who knows, there could be a parallel dimension where it's still running. Number 6. Why did Sam not leap home? Quantum Leap, the show about the body-hopping adventures of a scientist named Sam and his hologram buddy Al. Quantum Leap was a nice mixture of comedy, drama, and thoughtful science fiction. The final episode had Sam leap into a bar on the day of his birth, but rather than leaping into the body of the stranger, he sees his own reflection in the mirror. He chats with a mysterious bartender who tells Sam that he's in control of his own leaps and that he can return home any time. Instead, he decides to visit Al's first wife and tell her Al is still alive. He was a prisoner of war at the time and he's coming home. Then some text informs the viewer that Al and his wife went on to have 4 daughters, but that Sam never returned home. Sorry, wrong show. Number 5. How did Rimmer escape from death? Red Dwarf. Red Dwarf had a few cliffhangers during its run, such as Season 6 finale that killed off the entire cast. Patient fans had to wait 4 years for the show to return to explain how they survived. They had to be even more patient with Season 8's finale. The season ended with Rimmer on board Red Dwarf as it was being destroyed by a metal-eating virus. The cast and crew had vanished into a mirror universe. It's a long story, that's for another video. And he had no way to escape. Death himself comes in to visit, ready to take Rimmer to the next life. He responds by kneeing death in the groin and running away, so remember, when you're lying on your deathbed, go towards the light and knee the doorman in the nuts. Number 4. Did Eli survive the trip? Stargate Universe. In the last episode, the spaceship Destiny is badly damaged and the crew need to travel out of their current universe into the next one. It'll be a 3-year trip, so they need to go into stasis. While the rest go to sleep, his only hope is to repair his broken pod or die a slow, painful death while the life support system shuts down. Remember Eli, don't worry, you just have to knee death in the nuts. The final shot is of Eli looking contemplatively into space with his future not exactly certain. Here we are, we're at the top 3. Number 3, what happened to John Connor in the future? Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles. A complicated series of events lead young John Connor to travel to the future, where he meets his father Kyle and Uncle Derek, who form part of the resistance against Skynet. The problem is they've never heard of John Connor, the fabled leader of the resistance, nor has anyone else. To cap off John's problems, he has no way back to the past and is just left stuck there. Number 2. Did anyone survive? Blake's 7. More cult sci-fi with Blake's 7, which had a team of rebels leading a fight against an evil intergalactic federation. What the show lacked in budget, and boy did it lack a budget, it made up for with strong characters and a downbeat tone. This extended to the unbelievably grim finale, where the crew finally meet up with their missing leader Blake. The reunion is short as they're under the mistaken belief that he's betrayed them, so his second in command Avon shoots him dead. Then it's discovered another member of the group was the real traitor, and one by one the crew was shot down. The final moment sees Avon surrounded by soldiers as he lifts his gun and smiles. Then it cuts to credits as a shot is heard. And here we are, we're at number 1. That was my trumpet impression. What happened to Valerie, the unkillable Russian, The Sopranos? The final scene of The Sopranos can and has been debated to death since it aired, no matter how angry it made people. Another famous, unanswered question relates to what happened to Valerie, the invincible Russian. Paulie and Chris are sent to collect money from the Russian, only to get into a fight that seems to kill him. Although they didn't, as he's unkillable. They drive out to a remote forest to bury him, only he's not quite dead. Told you. After another fight, Valerie runs away, taking a bullet in the back of his head in the process. But he just keeps running, because he's unkillable. I said this before, he's unkillable. To be honest, he's probably still running. So that's your lot. Did we miss any out? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.